Hey, what's going on? You're in the secret level here with Gurns, and today I got a video on how to build your own AFK super farm. So the reason why I call it a super farm, guys, is because this one farms all kinds of different crafting materials from all kinds of different biomes, as well as tons of different items and accessories and so on. So there are massive benefits to this farm. There's a ton of things it does, and it's one you're probably going to want to set up. Alright, so we'll take a look at the main benefits of the farm, how I have mine set up, as well as just some of the tons and tons of items that you'll get here. Alright, so yeah, here we go. So just real quick, guys, this farm, along with all my other farms, but this one especially, I actually recommend you guys experiment with. Just try to tinker around with it basically, because like the way I set it up, I originally set it up actually just for to farm Ichor, and then like one thing after another started popping up until it pretty much became a super farm with tons and tons of different uses. Okay, so it's probably not finished. It's definitely not perfect. None of my farms are perfect, guys. They're great, so don't get me wrong. But again, I always recommend tinkering with them and experimenting just to see what you can do. Alright? So, anyway, if we take a look at my inventory here, you can see it's absolutely full, pretty much. So anyway, I'm not going to get into this time what all these specific crafting materials are made for, because there's just too many and I don't want to make the video too long. But anyway, with this farm here, you can get your Souls of Night, your Souls of Light, the Cursed Flame, Ichor, Rotten Chunks, Vertebrae, Worm Teeth, Cyan Husks, as well as Red Husks, also the Nazar, the Blindfold, the Vitamins, the Trifold Map, and the Armor Polish. So just in case, all 5 of these accessories, guys, are used to make the Ankh Shield. And the Ankh Shield, I think you need 11 different accessories to make it. It's either 10 or 11. But anyway, yeah, you get 5 of those all from this one farm. So that's awesome. As well as you get all 5 of the different biome keys. Now, I know this is not an ice biome key, guys. The ice biome key is not here because I haven't found it yet, but I guarantee you it does drop in this farm, okay? But yeah, so you get all the different biome keys, as well as a whole ton of different weapons, as you can see, some of the informational accessories, this snowball launcher, blessed apple, and more stuff too, guys. It's not all here. Like 2 great items I thought I would mention, for example, that you can also get here are the Rod of Discord, as well as the Frozen Turtle Shell. And I just haven't found them yet, that's why they're not here. Alright, so yeah, tons and tons of uses, guys. Massive benefits to this farm. So anyway, that's pretty much as far as, the main benefits go for this farm. One other thing I thought I would quickly mention too is, just in case if any of you guys have made 2 of my previous farms, the AFK Crimson Corruption and Hollow farm and the AFK Mimic and Souls farm, you might be thinking, oh no, those farms that I already made are obsolete now. Don't worry, they are not obsolete. This farm, they all have their different uses too. Like you'll still need the AFK Crimson Corruption Hollow Surface farm, because that one gives you pixie dust as well as unicorn horns and the megaphone. And the AFK Mimic and Souls farm, I know this super farm also drops the souls pretty much just as well, but I noticed that mimics don't spawn nearly as well, so I didn't set it up for mimics at all, basically. That being said, you can set it up for mimics too if you want, guys. It's a super farm. Go ahead. But yeah, I noticed that my AFK Mimic and Souls farm spawn much more mimics, much more efficiently. So yeah, you're still going to want that farm there for farming those mimics. As well as it's also a little bit more efficient for souls too. So anyway, we'll get to how I've got mine set up now. So the first thing you're going to want to do, guys, is head down to the caverns layer here, and fairly deep into the caverns layer. I'll show you on my map here. The reason why is I noticed like the top of my caverns layer starts here, and the bottom is obviously here, so I'm roughly about halfway. I noticed around the top, some of the monsters that I wanted to farm for certain things were not spawning there. They would only spawn kind of, or at least more of them would spawn farther in. So you're going to ideally want to set it up, I would say more or less halfway into the caverns lair, ideally. Alright? Anyway, so once you got your place picked out here, let's just head over to my farm. Here we are. So you can see there's souls of light and night all over the place here. But yeah, once you head into your farm here, you're going to want to hollow out a decent sized area. It doesn't have to be as large as mine. Mine's only this large because I was taking around with the farm a whole bunch and it ended up just being like a big cave basically once I was done. So yeah, once you've hollowed out your farm area there, you're going to well, I shouldn't say you're gonna want to. You can really just try whatever, because I'm really still tinkering with this one too, guys. I'm just making the video now because it works awesome as it is, but there's still some improvements that probably can be made. So anyway, that being said, what I did basically is I built a little tunnel, as you can see around here. And as far as the distance goes, normally I'd be standing right here in the middle by this bewitching table. And from the left side, as well as the right side here to the edges, is roughly about 80 to 85 blocks of space. And that's because enemies will spawn within 84 blocks of space there, but no more than I think 63 or something like that. So basically they'll spawn on the edges here, and that's where I want them to spawn to walk into my trap, as well as from top to bottom. That is at least to the top of my little tunnel there, to this bewitching table. That is about, I think, 50 blocks of space, and that is because enemies, they can spawn within 47 blocks of space from you. So yeah, you don't want them spawning inside here. And that being said, fill in all the little holes there with stone ideally, because again, we'll be using the Clantaminator here. And yeah, so ideally you want it to be stone so that it can be used to change the biome basically. Alright, and also the more stone you have, which becomes whatever kind of biome block, the more, I noticed, the better the monsters spawn. So you don't want to make it just enough, like 300 or something. Except for the snow here, that seems to work fine for whatever reason. Anyway, so once you have that done basically, you're going to need a whole bunch of conveyor belt, as you can see, just to ideally get most of the loot to roll towards you. Alright, so if we take a look over here, conveyor belts go almost towards the edges there, and I have a whole bunch of traps there. All these traps are actuated, and you can kind of fiddle around, like I said, again, with everything, but especially with the kinds of traps that you use. But essentially, these are made specifically for those flying hammers, swords, and axes, whatever they're called, basically, that spawn in the different biomes and can go through bricks and will basically spawn around here and fly towards me. And these will kill them before they get to me, basically, and hurt me. So yeah, that's why those are there, as well as just a couple traps at the top here to kill things, and a couple little traps on the sides here. I just put those there because I noticed whenever it's a corruption biome, those purple slimes, when they die, their little baby slimelings would sometimes fall down through here, and I don't want them to do that right above me. So ideally, I kind of want them to die over here. Even if they did do that above me, they do barely any damage, so the heart lamp and the campfire would heal me anyway, and it doesn't happen very often, so it's not a problem. I just put those there. It's up to you guys though, really. So yeah, let's take a look at the wiring now. So essentially I have basically done a half and half. I have half of the traps more or less connected to one 1 second timer, and the other half connected to another 1 second timer, and that's just so I can kind of spread out the damage so that it does more damage overall and basically does a better job of protecting me from any of those flying weapons basically that will come at me from here. So yeah, so we'll turn that off now and turn on the trap. So just real quick, since we're in the hollow biome right now, basically, I want to mention that the skeleton merchant... Oh, there's that frozen turtle shell that I've been wanting. Sweet. I'll grab that. Alright. So that skeleton merchant that you guys just saw, one thing I recently learned about him is that he can also spawn in hollowed biomes. I initially just thought that he could only spawn in regular underground and regular cavern biomes. There's another frozen turtle shell. What the hell? Okay. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, so that guy can also spawn in the hollowed biomes. And he was causing some small issues with me because basically what can potentially happen, it's very rare, so you can basically still AFK. But what can potentially happen is he can spawn, and if there is a hollowed mimic there, and if you guys have seen my hollowed mimic videos, you'll know I had some issues with them. But if there happens to be a hollowed mimic there, and he just happens to spawn at the same time, basically, he will aggro that hollowed mimic and get you killed. So I have yet to kind of figure out something to prevent that completely, but it is pretty rare that that scenario will happen. And it can also happen with my AFK Mimic and Souls farm, so if it caused anyone some issues there, I'm sorry, but it should be extremely rare because I've gone AFK and come back with hundreds of souls and still been alive. Anyway, so that being said here, once you have your conveyor belts down, you're going to want to throw in, like I said, those traps there and have them all actuated so that the loot will roll towards you. And there's one of those flying swords, enchanted swords it's called, whatever, and as you can see it's dying and it can't get to me. Alright, so once you have that done there, you're going to want to throw in your 80 jungle bricks. I just kind of used it as my wall here basically, or not my wall but my barrier, as well as 30 snow blocks or snow bricks, doesn't matter which one. Just don't use ice because, well actually you can use ice, sorry. Oh, there's that Rune Wizard. So he came a little bit too early. But as far as the Rune Wizard goes, in this chest here I have the Pygmy Staff, and I keep that little guy down there just in case the Rune Wizard spawns. And there's his hat, as well as Tim. And there's Tim's hat over there, because they can potentially spawn below you, and if they do, this guy will start attacking them and kill them, and also prevent them from hitting you, because he will knock them back enough so that they can't cast anything. Alright, so now that we've gotten through that there, sorry guys, there's just so much to talk about in this one. Okay, so in this chest here, I have a contaminator with a bunch of different solutions, obviously. So we'll just clear out my inventory here a bit. Okay, so we'll grab the contaminator and we'll grab some purple solution. So what I would do, oh, oops, I always forget guys. Right click that ammo buff to help save solution. And just take the contaminator and spray it up. And as you can see, it's easier to see on the minimap, but the biome is changing to a corruption biome. Oof, I'm missing a bit there. Doesn't really matter. I'll just fill it in a bit. So you can see it's kind of going below my little cave there. It just doesn't really matter because it doesn't spread at all anyway. But you can do something about that if you want. Anyway. So as you can see now, I'm getting cursed flames rolling along to me from the bottom path. So again, the bottom path here, as well as the traps on the edge, mainly those spiky ball traps, those are, we'll just go over here a little bit. I don't want to get hurt. But yeah, I don't want to get hurt too much. I'm dying. So as you can see by my cursor there, there's a clinger. What that is little worms that will spawn on the edges. But will stick there and not come over here. So those are the things that drop the cursed flames. And yeah, that's how you get your cursed flames. Also, you can see some of these little corruptors are spawning. And, oh, looks like a frozen mimic spawned. That's what drops Frostbrand, obviously, somehow. Anyway, a frozen mimic spawned over there. I guess those can spawn too. But yeah, so now it's corruption, and I'm getting a whole bunch of corruption loot, obviously, as well as the ice tortoises are spawning in, I think, all the biomes because of the snow bricks here, as well as other, I guess, snow biome creatures as well to drop all that other snow loot too. But for that frozen turtle shell is what I was talking about, because that's what I at least was focused on. So yeah, look at all that loot just rolling along nice and conveniently. I love it. Alright, so yeah. So, okay, I was wondering how is there a hollow... That sword is a hollow creature, but you'll notice that on my mini-map I missed a little bit there, and there's still a bit of hollow brick, so there's still some hollow creatures, as you can see, spawning. So anyway, once you have that done there, you've got all your hollow and your corruption loot. Let's switch it up to the crimson now. Alright, so, and again, guys, if you don't want to see this part, because you already know where I'm going with this, just fast forward through the video, skip ahead, and yeah, I just do it so that people can see if they want to see it. Alright, so now it is a crimson biome, and as you can see, there's the ichor stickers spawning, who drop all the ichor that I want. So, like, for me, this is just me personally, guys, but this farm for me is more or less specifically for ichor, cursed flame, excuse me, as well as worm teeth too. You get those also while it's corruption. Those will come. They're a little bit more rare, unfortunately, but you will get them, and they come rolling along the bottom. Those worm teeth. So yeah. So, just like I was saying, for me personally, I set this up more or less for ichor, as well as cursed flames and worm teeth, because I didn't have anywhere to farm those things. But you guys, again, experiment with it. There's so much you can farm with this farm, as long as you put those snow bricks there and have your contaminator with all of this being more or less stone. You can change the biomes. You can do half and half if you want. Like, I'll show you real quick here. I'll just, well, you already saw, I guess, just because I left a little piece there. But I'll grab the blue solution just real quick, and I'll spray... Oops. Sorry, guys. But I'll spray the blue solution here. Oh, it's getting laggy with all the stuff. Ugh. And the recording. So I need a better computer, guys. Anyway, so as you can see, it's like half and half. And from the right side now, I will get crimson monsters, basically. And from the left side, I will start getting hollowed monsters, as you can see. And the biome turns into jungle music, I guess, now, because it's more or less, the two of them kind of cancel each other out. But you'll still have enough to get all the spawns, obviously, with all the monsters spawning. So yeah, a great farm, guys. I had a ton of fun setting up this farm. As you can see, I was doing a whole bunch of experimenting with basically what I can do with it, what I can get to spawn here, and the different uses it can be used for, I guess. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much, I think, as far as the setup goes. And of course, you're going to want to have your water candle there, and like I already said, a little minion summon dude. You don't have to have this guy if you don't want to, but keep him down there, just in case. Ooh, I don't know how that thing fell through, but anyway, whatever. I guess maybe put some blocks there on the bottom, and you can just hook yourself to the top to still collect the loot. Or you can just have a minion up here if you want. But yeah, you're going to want to keep a minion down there, though, just to make sure for whenever Tim or that rune wizard spawns. They're kind of rare, but if you do go AFK for a while, there is a decent chance that you might get one of them, and you don't want them to kill you while you're gone, and that guy will stop them. So yeah. But yeah, and also, again, a heart lamp and a campfire, just in case like some of the weaker minions kind of fall through there and do a tiny bit of damage to you. That shouldn't happen very often, so the campfire and the heart lamp should regenerate you enough so that they won't kill you, basically. Yeah, so again, guys, I really recommend kind of experimenting with this farm here. You don't have to build it exactly like I do. You don't have to build any of my farms exactly like I do. I highly recommend experimenting with things, because I can't think of everything, guys, especially with this one. So you guys will probably find, some cool little addition, or, some tip that would help me out. You never know, guys, alright? So anyway, that's as far as the setup goes. Couple more things actually, guys. Sorry I'm forgetful, but if you have a bit of an issue with the flying weapons getting a bit too close to you and possibly hitting you, what you can do is just make a couple more traps here, maybe some more sideways spear traps or some spiky ball traps. If you use spiky ball traps though, as you can see, these ones here from the very edges just despawn right before me. Make sure you have like 3 blocks right here blocking them from hitting you, but make sure they're like right beside you though, so that you still collect the loot automatically. And the second thing too is the purple slimelings as well as the herplings. They can potentially fall through the conveyor belt layer here and hurt you. So if you want to prevent that, if you have an issue with that, basically what you can do is just put a second layer of block here like this, and you can make it longer if you want, but just hook yourself to that, and what that will do basically is prevent the herplings here as well as the slimelings from falling through and hitting you, but as long as you're hooked to it like I am there, you'll still automatically collect loot. So yeah, these weapons here I'm talking about, if they get a little bit too close, you might want to put up a bit of traps. You can see it gets a little bit close there. A bit more traps. So yeah, and the third thing I want to quickly say too is here are the frozen keys, just so you can see them and know that yes, you can get all the biome keys from this one convenient farm. So I still haven't gotten that rod of Discord yet though. It's really rare, guys. I really want it, but I guarantee you it does drop in here as well, as long as it's hollow. Alright, so yeah, just thought I'd throw that in there for you guys. Alright guys, so that's how you build your own AFK super farm. Or whatever you want to call it. I just call mine my super farm because I can't think of anything better. And it does a whole ton of things. So I just, again though, want to remind you guys, if you are AFK and it is a hollow biome, be careful how long you AFK for, because it is possible, however unlikely, that the skeleton merchant can spawn while a hollowed mimic is sitting there and yeah, get you killed. So I don't want that to happen to you guys, so just kind of be careful when you are AFKing while it's a hollow biome, and same goes with my AFK mimic and souls farm. Okay, I know I didn't mention that in that video, so if anybody ran into any issues with that, I'm really sorry about that, because I didn't really figure that out until somewhat recently. So yeah. So anyway, I hope the video helped, guys, and leave a like if it did, because I like helping people, and that lets me know that I'm helping some people out, and not just, wasting people's time. Anyway, so yeah, and also guys, I want to stress, experiment with this farm. Like, I'm not done with it, and there are tons of uses that you guys will probably think of that I never thought of, as well as my other farms too, guys. I always recommend experimenting with any of the things that I build, because, like, I'm not perfect, I can't think of everything, so if you guys, experiment, not only will it make you a better player, but you'll probably think of something I never thought of too, and then you can help me. Alright, so yeah, anyway guys, that's the video, and also subscribe here to the secret level, and then you can join me, Gerds, because there's more videos to come like this, as well as other types of videos like me failing, as well as just tips videos and stuff like that, so you're going to want to stick around for those. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. This is Gerns exiting the secret level, sorry. Take it easy, guys.